special places where we do sort of experiments in the open field, which is a bit scary, but not as scary as standing here at the moment. Our job is to make our stock energy efficient and to reduce carbon emissions in the borough. We try and do that by keeping heat in, for example, by insulating the outside of our blocks, and there's two as a work in progress there. Making the heat inside more efficient by heating systems, improving boilers, and also, once we've done the sort of mechanical stuff and the building stuff, then we've got the people stuff, which is where behaviour change comes in. And that interaction between people and buildings is a bit of a conundrum. But we're there to guard against fuel poverty and make warmth affordable. These are some of the organisations that have worked with us on the scheme that we're going to tell you about. Vital Energy did the original pilot, Oxford University and LSE got involved, along with Chicago University. The GLA gave us £3.5 million to install heat meters, Keemo installed them, Hildebrand dealt with the IT side. We've got a heating pool, we bulk buy gas, the same as any other energy supplier would. And we supply it to 12,000 of our residents, and they're charged a flat rate, which means they've got no incentive to save energy and might even keep their windows open in the winter to let that lovely cold air in and the lovely warm air out. You've even heard of bath parties where people invite their friends that have to pay for their energy over to have nice hot cosy baths. Heat meters, get rid of all of that. The little silver box is the meter. The screen, which you'll see in a minute, shows the consumption. It gives residents control of what they use. Shows them in real time how much they've got, how much they've used, and what they're forecast to have. There's the techie bit. The heating goes on, it goes through the meter, Wi-Fi, broadband, and an internet mesh communicates that to the energy hive, which is run by Hildebrand. That conveys that information back to the residents' monitor, that screen that they can see, all that stuff. That has led to quite significant reductions in consumption by influencing people's behaviour in that way. As I say, it is a special case where we are experimenting, and Camden does try and take risks. Sometimes it's in the open field, so it is awkward. But I'm going to leave on to Charlie Acton now, who's going to tell you some more interesting stuff.
Thanks, Angela. Yes, we first introduced heat metering on the estate in the north of the borough, Kiln Place, back in 2008. And as you can see from the graph, although there's a fairly consistent external temperature between the heating season before implementation and after, the combination of individual charging and metering has led to an overall energy reduction of about 30% from previously. Now, the data obtained from heat metering enabled us to conduct research into energy efficient behaviours. Conventional behaviour change research makes a number of assumptions. It's assuming people behave rationally, people are only influenced by relevant factors and they're not influenced by anything else. And a number of research projects we've done and other people have done indicated that this wasn't necessarily the whole story. People do not seem to react to information in the way that we would expect. So we were encouraged, therefore, to have a look at behavioural economics, because, as it says there, we think much less than we think we think. Behavioural economics looks at the impacts of social, emotional and cognitive factors on decision making. So things such as default, priming and social norms. Behavioural economics has been very influential in the States. You may have seen the book Nudge by Flavor Sunstone, and also it's being looked at over here as part of the Mindspace project by the Institute for Government. And so, because we're interested in behavioural economics, we conducted some research with the LSE and Oxford University over a 15-month period from 2010 to 2012. And we looked at the effects of social norms on the energy consumption of 569 heat-metered households. And as a result of that, there was a 6% reduction in energy use on the households who had had these social norm interventions. There was some variation within that figure. Larger households tended to be more responsive to the impacts of the norms, and wealthier households tended to be less responsive. which is particularly interesting given there was no extra financial incentive. Successes, well, as I was say, there's a direct and cost-effective reduction in energy use. £3 per resident for a 6% reduction is one of the lowest and most cost-effective reductions around. And it also gave us improved knowledge of our heating systems, what could go wrong with them, how to improve them, and also an improved knowledge of behaviours of energy users. In terms of the shortcomings, it was quite challenging to realise the full potential of the data and the feedback, understanding the technology and what we could do with it. Finding out what was happening in other areas there's quite a lot of things going on, who can be aware, and it's not always clear what the best things are is to take advantage of. And trying to do all this on time, on budget, and on scope. Introducing change, trying to get people to get what's happening, being suspicious of our motives, people being used to things being done in a particular way. The idea of being experimented on, all that reduces a certain amount of resistance to change. Doing stuff in the public arena is quite risky, learning from experience out there rather than doing it in a lab environment. And managing resources and agendas is quite difficult to match sometimes the needs of academics and the needs of our residents who expect a service to be delivered. Enablers, Camden Council has been pretty supportive in creative ways of delivering services. The GLA gave us, as Angela said, quite a lot of money to undertake this research, and academics were very helpful as well. And for the future, well, we're just going to continue to explore research opportunities and improve ways of delivering services and reducing our environmental impact.